Okay, hello everyone, and today we will speak only in English and interview with my husband Peter about bookkeeping and accounting. Okay, let's start.
Okay.
First of all, what is the difference between bookkeeping and accounting?
In the United States, an accountant is a professional like an attorney or like a lawyer who actually both has gone to school and then passed examination that's given by the government, and they get a license.
One second. School mean university or college, like 4
Yes.
years, and this like baccalaureate.
Right. In the United States, the names college and university are used a lot the same. They don't necessarily mean different things. So to be an accountant, this is a professional person. For example, with a doctor, you have a doctor and then you have a nurse or assistant. A nurse or an assistant does not have as much education as a doctor, and a nurse and an assistant cannot prescribe medications typically and do everything that a doctor can. This is similar for an accountant and a bookkeeper. So, two different things.
Okay, and if somebody will come, for example, from Russia or Ukraine or Belarus or Kazakhstan or someplace else, come to America and decided to start as a bookkeeper, what is better to do?
Well, first, being
Easy,
a bookkeeper,
easy and cheaper.
Easy and cheaper. Well, first, let me tell you that being a bookkeeper or being an accountant is a very good profession here in the United States, in America, and you can make good wages. Again, understand here, we've had this discussion before, that wages, salary mean different things here in the United States. Most people, most employees are paid, somebody likes me, are paid by the hour. So this is hourly pay. But sometimes, as an accountant or a bookkeeper, you get, in essence, a salary, which means you get every week so much money, guaranteed. To start, it depends, of course, if you already have some education about bookkeeping or accounting. Again, bookkeeping and accounting, the education is very similar. You learn a lot of the same things. So to start, and the best way and the least expensive way, as you asked, is beginning, if you already have some education from whatever country you're coming from, in bookkeeping or in accounting, start by going to one of the community colleges or junior colleges and just take 1 class, 2 classes, 3 classes, so you can see what is the same from your education that you already know and what is different, so that you get familiar with the words, the terminology, everything, what to expect. Now, also understand that if you go to a university or a college here, you can take classes and you do not have to finish and get a diploma, baccalaureate or whatever, or if you want to, you can take more classes. Even if you get a baccalaureate or diploma, this does not mean you will get a job, and it does not mean that you are qualified for a job. To start, if you already have experiences, this is what you want to do this first, and then what you want to do is you want to get a, what they say, beginning or entry-level job with a company where you're looking to be like an assistant bookkeeper, or sometimes you're just looking to be like a file clerk or somebody like this. This is a person who's at the bottom level and is just learning. In the United States, for working for any of these professions, it's very important that you have some education. This is like your foundation that to build on. But then you get some experience. And you get experience by starting at the bottom. You don't start at the top. No one will hire you at the top. Even if you come from another country and you were a university professor and all these things, you will not get this job. You will start down lower and then you have to get experience. It's not difficult. If you do, as I'm suggesting, get familiar first with how American accounting is done. And American accounting also is done very similar to the way accounting is done in Western Europe and other places like this. So it's not just the United States. But get familiar with this, get familiar with the language, and then start here. Most larger companies will hire and they will give you this opportunity to learn. And most larger companies will also, as you learn, will give you promotion. You can move up. Once you have this experience moving up a little bit, then you can make your choice. Do you want to stay with this company? Do you want to move to another company? Do you like working for a large company? Do you like working for small companies? There is, here in the United States, there is nothing bad about changing jobs. Most Americans change jobs often in their career. The way you do this is with, first, of course, you have a job. You look for this new job, maybe more what you want to do. Let's say you want to work in bookkeeping for a company that's in the music business or in the fashion business or in the automotive business. So you look for this company and, excuse me, you see what's offered. You know, there be advertisements. Their advertisements are very common, very easy to find. Jobs are easiest to find in the larger cities. And you look, and then wherever you're working, it's very professional and very important. If you're going to change to another job, give 2 weeks notice. Tell your employer, I'm changing jobs and I'd like to give you 2 weeks notice. And almost all employers, if you're a very good employee, they may say, oh, what can I do to keep you? And that's good. Maybe this will give you your opportunity. Or most employers will say, thank you very much. You've been a good employee. We wish you very good luck at your new job. And that's the way it's done. And it is, if you follow these steps carefully, pay attention, it is very easy. You will be successful.
Okay. One more question. You are employer.
Yes.
When you read
Resume?
Resume, what is important for you on this resume, and how is better to complete this resume? Because is this important to write about your education and experience in Russia, for example? Or like if you don't have in America experience and education, what?
Well, again, as I mentioned before, I think it's important to start out getting a little bit of education in the United States, in America. But when you complete your resume, and what I do, and I read a lot of resumes, I've read resumes for 20 or 30 years. I look at education. Education is very important, and I want to see two things. One, I want to see how much education did you get? And it does not matter to me if you did not get education, for example, in bookkeeping, in accounting. I want to see that you went to this university and that you did this and that you completed and that you got your baccalaureate or whatever diploma that you received. This shows me that you are willing to do this work. Then I am also interested in, did you study, again, about bookkeeping or accounting? Did you study this? So I'm looking at this and I'm reading these things. These are very important. I don't want to see 2 or 3 pages of everything you did in the university. This is not important. This can just be maybe a couple sentences, 1 paragraph. Then after that, I'd like to see where did you work and what did you do. If you're applying from another country, you must understand that something, when you put it down, which would be very common, and everybody in Belarus or Russia would understand, I might not understand. When you put down, for example, on an application that you're economist, which I've seen very often, this means nothing in the United States. An economist is something completely different. So if you put down economist, also describe what did you actually do in your job for the company you worked for. Also give an idea, what was this company that you worked for? Was this a small company? Was this a large company? Was this a government? Was this a private company? So that whoever is reading this resume understands a little bit that you worked for a company which was a manufacturing company, and you worked in the department which handled all the employees and their time and their payrolls and things like this, so that an employer can look at this and can understand. This is important. And this is important. I look at this also for even an employee who is applying from the United States. Most people who read resumes a lot can tell when somebody is telling the truth or when somebody is creating a little bit of a fairy tale. This is very common, that people puff up their resumes. This is not a good thing, because when you see somebody who is puffing up this resume like this, you don't really want to, you want to go to the next resume. You want to forget about this. Be honest and it'll work for you.
Okay, next question. I looked before we made this interview. I looked online and I found lots of courses online. And what is about these courses? Is better to go to the college or you can study online? And I don't really understand this 2 years college for
Yes.
bookkeeping, for example.
Yes.
And then what? You should pass exam and have some document like you ready to work for this, or what? What?
Again, this is a very good question. The education in the university system, these classes are changing in the United States, especially with this COVID virus. So before, when students used to go and sit in a classroom with other students and teachers, now a lot of this is all done online. A class where you take this and just do this work, even if you do this from home on the computer, but you do not have any, even on Zoom or something like this, a real meeting where you're talking with a professor, where you're talking with other students. I don't know how good this class would be, but I think now that classes that are conducted on the internet with meetings on the internet are probably can be very good classes. So again, if you take classes, whether they're in person or on the internet, from a what they would call a reputable school, and a reputable school, university, college is one that the schools are what they call accredited. Accredited means that the government, for example, the state of California, the state of New York, the state of Florida, gives certification to this school, and that this school meets standards for education. So if you're going to do this, take classes from an accredited school. Now you mentioned a 2-year. Earlier I mentioned just taking some classes, but there is a 2-year diploma here in the United States if you choose to do this. And this is just called an associate's degree. And again, anytime you want to do this work and get this diploma, associate's diploma, baccalaureate, master's, PhD, any of these things, this is all valuable. So yes, you can get a 2-year degree. You said earlier about me being ready to work. That does not mean anything here in the United States. Because you get a degree does not mean you are or are not ready to work. It just means you got a degree. You can work before you get a degree. You can work after you get a degree. You can work while you're studying for your degree. You can do all these. So.
Okay, and what about if somebody would like to study by itself and then just pass exam?
Of course, you can do this. It's very common in the United States. Some people really enjoy doing this. You can study whatever you like. You can study, again, accounting or bookkeeping. You can study...
No, I mean not college, not university, not courses, just at home.
You can.
Like, right now I am reading about Abraham Lincoln, who studied at home laws and then just passed exam and became a lawyer. For example, like this.
This is very, very unusual. I would not suggest it.
It's very difficult to pass exam, probably.
No, it's not that. You can do this and you could probably pass the exam. The question is, what exam?
And where is this exam?
Well, again, if you want to become an attorney, this is licensed by the state. This is different if you want to become an attorney. If you want to become a bookkeeper, there is no examination for becoming a bookkeeper. This is just an occupation, like becoming a house painter or becoming a car mechanic or something. If you want to become an accountant, which gives you a professional stamp that you can sign these financial documents, you have to both take an examination which is given by the state that you're in, like California, and you have to also then work for a licensed accountant for a certain period of time. I think it's at least 2 years. You have to work underneath this person, and then that person will certify that you can do this job, and then you can become a professional. So it's 2 parts. If you want to study online a class, now if you want this class to be for your profession, where you want to make money, on this, then I would recommend that you take this class through a college, through a university, something like this, because they will give you this certification, this credit for this class, and if you take enough of these classes in their program, they will give you this diploma. If you just take a class online, there are lots of them, and you may learn a lot, but it will not be as valuable to you as these other classes. If you want to take an online class, take an online class in something you love doing, like cooking,
Okay.
art, or something for your enjoyment.
Okay, and some like I would like to hear more information about college and education, because I know it's very different. In America, no hurry. You should, for bookkeeping, take probably, I don't know clear, but I think probably more than 10, less than 15 classes. Yes, and this mean like you can study this not like 6 hours in a day, every day include Saturday. No, what about all this college and education? How you will be busy or at the college?
It's a very good question. Coming from another country, the American college university system is set up. For example, if you want to get a baccalaureate degree, a bachelor's degree is what we call it.
No, bookkeeping. We talk about bookkeeping 2 years.
If you want to go,
but what does
classes?
mean 2 years?
Okay.
I can, for bookkeeping, I know, no, for example, 12 classes I need to take.
Understand that if you're going to take a course in bookkeeping through college, okay, a 2-year class, when we talk about a 2-year class here in the United States, a 2-year program, I shouldn't say class, it's not one class. The schools are divided similar to Russia or other countries into periods which are either quarters or semesters. A typical quarter is a 10-week period, 10 or 11 weeks. Typical semester is 20 weeks, okay? There are, in a normal school year, there are 2 semesters or 3 quarters of instruction. When you take this as a full-time student, then every quarter or every semester, you will typically be having 3 different classes. Each class has a lecture or instruction period, and then homework that you will be doing. A typical lecture will be anywhere from 1 to 2 hours, and that will be either 2 or 3 times a week, not 5, not 6, 2 or 3 times a week. You will normally have every week maybe 4 hours of additional homework for that class. This is a normal course.
Okay, in a week at college, how many classes in a week?
Three different classes. Each class meets for 1.5 hours. So let's say they all met on the same day. If you had all your classes that met like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, okay, then each day you would be in class 4 to 5 hours. That's all.
Okay.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, not Tuesday, not Thursday, not Saturday, 3 days a week. If you meet only 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, the class would be a little longer, maybe 1.5 to 2 hours per class, and that would be it.
Okay. Then I will explain in Russian in next video for people who don't understand all this. Okay. And
now understand also, for people who are coming who already have an education and
Yes.
who already who want to start already working, you can do not this full time. You can take like one class, and you can take a lot of times these classes in the evening. This will mean that instead of completing in 2 years, it might take you 3 years or 4 years to complete a 2-year program. But you can do this slower.
okay, this is good. I think we talk about everything. Only I know about when you one thing, when you come to America, you should live here 1 year. Like when you come and when you have green card, if you are going to college or university, you will pay in this first year like you are foreigner, high price. If you would like to pay less, like Americans, citizens, you should live first 1 year in America. Only next year you can go like for much less price.
You go for the same price as any other person. This is what's called establishing residency, and this is only for public schools, public colleges, public universities.
Yes.
If it is a private school you want to go to, they normally charge the same to all students. Private schools or private university, for example, here in California, let's say you want to go to like a Stanford, which is a very famous and a very good university. I think Stanford will cost the average student, whether this is someone from California or whether this is someone from Azerbaijan, will cost them $40,000 to $50,000 a year. Now, if you want to go to a public university, which, for example, very, very excellent, like UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles, or something like that, these schools will cost you much less than half of what Stanford, or even much less than that. There are, in all of the different states, there is a whole system of very excellent, what they call city colleges and junior colleges, which will allow you to take classes to get this 2-year degree, 2-year diploma, or some of them will also allow you to get a 4-year diploma, and these are much less and much easier to get admission to, and they are excellent schools. So don't think that you have to go to this top one, but Lana is absolutely correct. Wherever you're going to live, plan on spending this year and to get your residency, because the cost will be much less.
Okay. One more question. If, for example, I have a degree of accounting, but no job in my town or my area for accounting, only bookkeeping. And okay, I apply for this job, and you, like employer, this is good or this is not good to be like bookkeeper but with this high education? Because if I will find better job, of course I quit.
Maybe. It depends on how well the employer pays you.
Yes.
first question is this degree in accounting from an American school?
Yes,
or is this degree
American.
If this degree in accounting is from an American school, you will already know what is the job situation where you are. But if I am an employer, and I see this all the time, where I have an applicant for this job, for example, bookkeeper, and I look and here's this person who has this degree and lots of this very, very powerful experience and everything. I look, I don't need this. This is like buying an enormous jet airplane when all I need is a little Volkswagen. I don't need this. So yes, a lot of employers will look and say, this is not the right person for the job.
Okay, thank you very much. If you have more questions, please leave below your questions. Okay, thank you very much. And please subscribe our channel.
Please subscribe.
Yes, bye.
Bye.